I wanted specifically to look at the issue of the middle class white female voter. Now, this is both in the UK and America. We are Western civilization. You could look at Europe as well, but a lot of the content I've got is certainly UK-centric and, America at the fringes. But we are culturally downstream from America in a lot of things, and whatever happens there often comes here. So I've got some clips for you today, one of which is from the UK, which really tells you everything that you need to know about how some of these people want to destroy our society. But there's also a number of clips from America just to demonstrate how this is happening all over the Western world. And I think this is a very, very important thing to look at. Because, these people, whether they've been through the university education system and they've been educated and they are pumped full of this garbage and they come out spouting this drivel, or whether it's the fact that a lot of people are susceptible to this, or, they've been watching media, social media, I just don't know. But it's become clear that there is a significant portion of the societies in the Western democracies that we live in that are turning to these ideologies. Now, these videos here, they're obviously part amusement. Some of them I find to be distressing on one level, but mainly they're relatively funny to hardened internet people like we are. These clips are all over the place, and you can find humour in them, but I don't want to mock these people. I don't think that's the right way to go. You could say that there is mental illness on display, and that may be partly true. However, it does need to be remembered that, in terms of mental illness, you can't really label these people as mentally ill anymore because a huge amount of people subscribe to this stuff. And so this is an issue within our society, and it particularly relates to the issue of the white female middle class voter, most of whom have been educated, certainly up to university standard. Some haven't, and, they're just professional people and hold these views anyway, for whatever reason that is. But in general, I think, we can see the direction of travel very, very clearly.
Are white people being replaced in the UK?
So what? So what? Wait, so what? Nobody's white. Right. Who's white? Right. Everybody's got a grandparent or a great-great-grandparent or a great-great-great-great-great-grandparent that came from somewhere else. Yeah. So if we want to insist that only white people can come here, who are they? Like, have we gone too far by the time you get to Russia? Like, do we want Russians? Just because you're born in a country, should you be destined to live your life out in, poverty or injustice? Like, I don't believe that you should be denied opportunity because of the country you were born in. I think immigration is vital because without it you become a enclosed, closed-minded, shut down, culturally poor environment. The damage done during imperial empire colonialism could and should have a tranche of immigrants who, if they want to come here, hell yeah, they should come here.
So it looks like all the white women who voted for Trump are about to find out what Serena Joy went through when they cut off her little finger in The Handmaid's Tale. Because Trump's buddies are all over social media saying, hey, guess what? We are going to enact Project 2025, and Trump has just promised us all spots in his administration. Joke's on you. So have fun with that one, ladies, because we told you so. And when you are bleeding out in an emergency room, when they take away your right to vote, all of these things that are about to happen to you, they're not going to ask you who you voted for. They're not going to ask you what you thought about Project 2025 and you really thought it was Agenda 47 and that's not what Trump told you. They're not going to care one little bit because we're all going down with the ship. Okay? Because this country couldn't elect a woman president. They especially couldn't elect a woman of color. So instead, you put a man in office who's guilty of assault, who's a felon, because you'd rather carry water for the white men in your life.
Just to put my 2 cents into the mix, fuck your purple revolution. I'm never going to forgive those people that voted for him. Ever. And we're done as a society. We are done not holding shitty people accountable when they do something shitty. Like, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to forgive a racist that voted for Trump, who now lost their health care? No, I don't think so. I think you're getting exactly what you voted for, and that just makes me so happy. And just like to add on another thing to, we should just, we need to move on. We need to unite. No. You know who had a really good idea? Brad Pitt's character in Inglourious Bastards. I would like to be able to identify you for the rest of your life, because it is that serious. It is that bad. Purple Revolution. You guys are fucking nuts.
With a shirt that says for Charlie.
Because I advocate for free speech, and I
Okay, you
absolutely love
free speech. Wear a shirt that says free speech. Wear a shirt that says promote free debate. Free press.
Well, you get triggered because it has Charlie on there, right?
Because he was a racist. Because he was a misogynist, and that means that you are too. Because you support him. Get out. Get out of here.
He hated people.
Yeah, just
he hated
calm it
anyone
down.
that wasn't white, that wasn't male, that wasn't straight.
Moved to Oregon for an abortion. Are you cool with that?
No, I that's very sad. But what percentage is it of those women?
What do you mean, what fucking percent? All of them. That's the only way they can get abortions
So-
by coming here.
Every woman that's getting an abortion is due to medical procedures?
No, most abortions are.
No, they're
One
not.
abortion was of a dead embryo.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
That's most abortions.
That's not most
A dead-
abortions.
Yes, it is. Because
Have you looked at
miscarriages-
statistics?
Most abortions are cleanups after miscarriages, and women can't even get those denied
No,
now.
it's less than 1.7%.
No, you're a fucking moron.
You don't know the
Because
statistics.
miscarriages are extremely common, and most women opt to have
Miscarriages
the
and abortion are
DNC.
different. What is abortion?
No, a miscarriage is a medical abortion.
No,
Yes, it
no, it's
fucking
not.
is.
Okay, let me
Fucking
educate
is.
you, okay?
Yes, it
Well, hold on,
fucking is.
hold on. Get back, hey, get back. Hey.
Hey,
Get back.
I don't want to hear a single conservative in my comment section chirping about Sharia law because of Zoran's election. Okay, you guys love Sharia law. You love fundamentalist extremism when white people are implementing it, which is why y'all are also in my comment section saying repeal the 19th, which is why y'all celebrated when Roe v. Wade was overturned, which is why y'all are trying to get Obergefell overturned. You love Sharia law, but when you throw a hijab on it, suddenly it's scary. Okay, you love fundamentalist extremism, but only when it's white people flavored instead of Arab people flavored. Like, shut up. It is the same thing every time a white girl or a white boy or a gay person posts about Palestine. They're like, do you know what they do to gay people in Palestine? Do you know what they do to gay people here? Do you know what they're doing to trans people here? No, you love repressive policies when white people implement them. But as soon as a Muslim person implements it, oh, suddenly it's bad. Suddenly it's, oh, we're so enlightened here. Shut up. No one's buying it anymore. Okay? And frankly, calling Zoran like, oh, he's like the next Islamic revolution. He's literally a progressive. What about his policies, besides the fact that he's Muslim, makes you think that he's going to be repressive towards women and gay people? Explain that to me in a way that's not racist. I'm waiting.
Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam, Islamic Caliphate of New York, starts today, baby.
God, there is just something so electric, so satisfying about knowing that my MAGA parents, wherever they are probably having a horrible night tonight. Oh, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like, they are in such a bad mood, probably, about the fact that Zoran just won and Prop 50 is gonna pass. Like, wow. God, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel good that my MAGA parents are probably upset right now.
When the day starts with Dick Cheney being dead, it ends with Mamdani winning. Oh, yes. Oh. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
It's the detachment from reality that I find the most troubling. It's really odd to see a liberal woman, for instance, say, I can't wait for Sharia law to hit New York. Well, you do realise that you are drinking alcohol in a bar, and should the Islamic Caliphate come to New York and Sharia law hit, then you can forget about that bar. You can also forget about leaving the house without fully covering your body. And, if you take a look at Afghanistan, and I could show you a video of Afghanistan, but, in terms of women's rights, there pretty much are none. But more important to me, more important than that, is what do we do with this? There's a huge amount of women go to university and come out with these belief systems, and like it or not, these people are here. Now you have to allow people the space and the time to say what they want. But as time goes on, it never ceases to amaze me how far we drift from the true path, how far, to my mind anyway, how far we drift away. And it just seems like what people are trying to do all the time is go that little bit farther just to shock you. And I find it deeply troubling. But the one thing that I think cuts through it all is this. When it does eventually hit the fan, as it has to, this has got to be worked through. And, Mr. Mamdani in New York, the socialist Muslim that got in, and he's going to be starting as mayor at the start of January, huge amounts of people seem extremely happy about this. But of course, virtually none of the people voting for Mr. Mamdani have ever lived under socialism, have ever lived under any type of, Islamic caliphate or Sharia law. Now, do I think those things are going to happen with Mr. Mamdani? No, I don't. I don't think he'll get anything passed that he needs to get passed to do it. But the fact still remains that these people are out there and this is what they are screaming and shouting for. And so what do we do about this? We have to allow these people to talk. We've got to let them, free expression and express themselves in any way they want. But ultimately, this leads to the destruction of our civilization. There's no other easy way or harder way to put it. If enough people start to buy into this rubbish, as we're seeing now, apparently 15% of the population of the United Kingdom believes that the best choice for leader is Zach Polanski. And if that's not batshit crazy, then I don't really know what is. It's almost as plain as day to me. I would advocate you voted Labour than you vote for Zach Polanski. And this is so utterly obvious to me. But a growing number of people want this to happen. Now, one of the reasons why it might be happening is down to the current financial, economic and general state of society. When I was growing up, it was the norm for people to get married, have kids, work, have a pension, and then there was this kind of revolution where we don't want that to happen and all of that. But kids nowadays have got a far different deal than even I had, or certainly my parents had. What have they got? Well, they may not have home ownership. They certainly don't have a steady job. They're not going to know employment in the way that I certainly knew when I was younger. But now it's completely and utterly changed. The landscape has changed and there's nothing set in stone for the young people. So you can't perhaps live where you were born. You have to move around. The job isn't there. There's no job security there. There's certainly no pension that's going to be laid out, which is going to look after you when you get old. So is it any wonder that a lot of these young people are turning to socialism? I think that's partly one of the causes behind it, and partly kids reaching out and thinking, well, this system isn't working for me. What is the alternative? Well, there aren't many alternatives available at the moment, one of which was Zoran Mamdani in New York. And this is possibly one of the reasons why I believe people choose these ideologies, particularly young people. It needs to be borne in mind that as old people get old and die, so we are going to start to see the demographics change in terms of the political narratives that are going to be going forward. And as we start to see these narratives change, and as the young people come through, they are going to continue to vote in this way. And there's very little anybody can do about it, nor should we do about it, because we do live in a democracy. And in a democracy, everyone gets a vote, and that's fair enough. It's not just about the older people in society. You know, there's always that battle between young and old going on in every culture and every society throughout the whole of time. That's always there. So we can't really do anything about it. We just have to work our way through it. But at some point, there will be somebody voted in who brings in this stuff. You know, this unholy alliance between Islam and the liberal college student or university student in Britain and in America will at some point produce a nightmare. And when that nightmare comes, and when it happens, when the shit does actually hit the fan, then we are going to go full circle. And you've all seen that before. We are certainly buried deep within weak men create hard times, and we are about to go through something like that. My main worry, of course, is that within this whole process, it's not really going to matter what happens afterwards, because the demographics of each country will have changed to the point where those countries are all but erased and will be embarking on new ground, new cultural ground, to see where we're going to end up. And this in itself is extremely worrying to me. But then again, I'm in my middle age, so perhaps I'll still get to enjoy the sunset of my existence in the old world as we know it, as I drift away. But we shall certainly see. But just as a little taster for everyone that wants Sharia to come to New York, and I do find that especially funny, we'll just see out this video with a little description of some aspects of Sharia law and what would happen if, say, under Sharia law, you wanted to bed down with your missus and she decides that she's got a bit of a headache today and doesn't quite like it. Well, we've got some good advice here from your local imam about how to handle just such a situation. And as ever, thanks very much for your time.
The husband has physical needs and she is not willing to make herself available for the husband. Does she have an excuse, a medical excuse, a valid excuse? No. She just doesn't want to. So if she has no medical excuse, no psychological excuse, no whatsoever excuse, she has no right not to make herself available within appropriate limits and means. If you want to solve this situation, start with step number 1. You have the best attitude, use nice words, and try to make her happy. See what's bothering her. Let's say you tried step number 1. You really did. You went out of your way to try to please her and fix the situation. She's still stubborn. She's ignoring you. She doesn't care. She's being negligent. She's not making herself available. What's step number 2? وَهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. The next step is now you start applying pressure on her. Let her know that her attitude is not welcome. If that doesn't work, then the Quran says, وَضْرِبُوهُنْ. If that doesn't work, as a last resort, hit them. The Imam ﷺ says in this hadith, we have this hadith, the Imam says he is allowed to hit her with a toothbrush, miswak. It's a small little piece of wood this big. The Imam says if he wants to hit her, he's only allowed to hit her this way. You're allowed to hit without having, this might sound funny to you, but just get the idea here, without having your armpit exposed. That means you can't raise your hand. You have to lower your hand such that your armpit doesn't show the underneath of your arms. You hit like that. Try. Can you really harm someone like that?